with another BS show. Man, so we got Next Level, and we have a guest today, Gruntstreams, brand new in the YouTube community, the streaming community, the tech community. It's going to be some great stuff coming. Go ahead, next.
Within your community, what does customer service mean to you? And what have you used to kind of help you with your customers, your families, your friends?
Just a lot of videos. I mean, if somebody messaged me, I was always replying. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why a lot of people have, stuck with me, is because I reply pretty quick. Like if they have an issue, like, all right, let me make a video for you. So I'll make a video, send it to them. But it kind of got tiresome. I was like making video after video after video and I was sending the same type of video to multiple people. So I was like, you know what? I had made a Facebook business page, and I would post videos on there, but I think I did a pay-per-view advertisement and they shut it down. So now I just have a Facebook group, and it's by invite only. So I only have like the people that are under me, my customers. And so I have videos on there. And then of course, if they have any other issues besides that, they can message me and I reply. But I try and if I find an update, I'll post it on there like, hey, this is an update. This is how you install it. This is how you update it. And then hopefully they'll watch the video. I tell them like, hey, I have my page, go watch it and check it out. Because I mean, I don't have that many customers, but it does take up a lot of your time.
For sure. And
so I was like, I didn't want to be rude, but I mean, they didn't think I had a life or something. So it's like, I have kids, I have a family, it's like sometimes, my wife's like, hey, you need to spend more time with us. So I was like, you gotta learn how to balance it a little bit. And it's been hard to balance it, but I'm hoping, especially now my wife's like, hey, you need to make a schedule, on how you're going to make your videos. And so she has a calendar here. So she's like, you just plan out what videos you're going to make and do it all in one day. Like you showed me, Rojas, do it all and have a bunch of content for the month. So you can, spend more time with your family and do what you want to do.
Yeah. This is great because it goes right into the whole YouTube venture and how you're doing this stuff. With the schedule, I know we briefly talked about it recently and how to create a schedule, because this YouTube thing and creating a like some kind of normal, like keeping your normal life even though you're working, and it's not easy, but once you have it, it's you got to stick to a strict schedule, so that way you don't want it to feel it, you don't want to make it work, you want to continue to have fun with it. And at the same time you don't want to neglect your family. Or then, look at Next Level's beard and his hair.
It's funny because it creeps up on you. You don't think it's going to get like that. And then by the time you realize it, you're too far gone. You're like, how did I get here?
Unfortunately, I can't let my hair grow or facial hair grow when I'm at work. So. They're like, hey, you need to have a fresh haircut. So luckily I'm on vacation right now. But yeah, it's going to be harder, of course, with my actual work and then getting off work and then trying to make time to make videos. So it's like, you got to balance everything. And I mean, I'll figure it out, little by little, but of course right now, like that one video I made last night, it took me I was like, hey, but it should take me like an hour. Nope. I was up till almost 4 a.m, like recording and editing and trying to make different intros and stuff like that. So I was like,
I definitely remember that. Like when you first get started creating content, it's not just that you're creating the content, but you have to learn how the applications work. You have to learn how to take the idea you have in your head and put it on a screen for somebody, right? How to edit it like that, how to come up with all the ideas that you want. It's one thing to sit down in front of a camera or just record a screen and record everything you want to record, but then to actually mold it into the idea that you have in your head, all that learning takes time. right? The same thing that'll take you all night to do last night, and like a year or two down the road, you're gonna be like, this is simple. I click here, I do that, I do this. Or you maybe even have like templates or, pre-recorded content that you can just drop in certain places. You learn tricks as you go along that makes what you do a lot easier.
Yeah.
For sure. And setting up a schedule is
Key.
Like literally when I started to learn how to create my own intros, I want to say I spent a day watching YouTube videos, how to edit in Adobe Premiere, how to edit within InDesign or After Effects. Like I would spend a day on how to use whatever software I was using. Before Adobe Premiere, I was using Filmora. So I spent a day watching videos on how to do stuff like that. So with your, when you were like looking into the whole, how do I edit stuff? How do I look at stuff? One of the that's like the biggest thing I do. I took a day to learn the simple tips and tricks, and I would grab a video, and I think Next Level, you did the same thing. You just did like a dummy video, watch some videos, threw it into your edit software, and then just play. And once you figured a couple things out, next day play with something else, like different features, different settings, different stuff. Once you get like some of the basic stuff where you're just going and getting that stuff down, after that, it's just setting up like what I'll do is I'll say like, hey, the second to last week of the month, I'm recording. The last week of the month, I'm editing and uploading. Sometimes the last week of the month, I could be recording and editing. And then that way, the last week of the month, I'm just uploading. And then I'll have a schedule where I literally, you saw how I did my folders. I have all the folders. I have everything laid out of how I'm going to, what type of videos that I want to do, how I'm going to title it, or an idea of how I'm going to title it. And then that way, once I start recording, I know exactly what it is. Yeah. And then I can just go boom, 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 boom. Let me spend like just recently, I spent, it was 8 hours. It was literally from 8 a.m. to like 5 p.m. roughly. And I recorded 12 videos. I just started going. And you know what? I didn't even take the entire time until 5 p.m. to record. I was also messing with my camcorder, trying to download some videos that I recorded from the day before. So I was just getting everything situated, everything labeled, just preparing myself. And then I would spend another, typically it's like 2 to 3 days of editing or recording. And then I give myself the same 2 to 3 days respectfully to edit. And then another 2 to 3 days to upload. So it's good to have a schedule like that, and then time slots where it's just like, hey, and then you do have you are full time with the National Guard, right?
Yes. Monday through Friday, I work 6 a.m. to 2. So luckily I'm off weekends. So, I mean, that could be like the time where I do, make my videos, but still have to figure something out because it does take a lot of time. I mean, I think the thing is right now I am trying to edit right after I record. So it takes a lot of time instead of like doing what you would do. You record a bunch of different videos for the first week, and then you edit all of them the following week. See, right now I'm just like, right after I'm done recording, I want to edit it because I mean, right now I don't have a lot of content to make. I mean, I'm Rojas. You got a lot of electronics that you need to do. So of course you're trying to do everything. I was like, I don't really have a lot of things that. I mean, I do have a couple things I can review. Of course, the Fire Stick. I have the TiVo Stream, the Meet Cool. I need to do reviews, but of course I still need to get that capture card. There's a couple things I need to buy. That I got it little by little. So it's like,
when I first started working with Rojas wanted me to have a schedule just like him. Release a video every 2 days. He's like, these are the folders. This is what you're going to do. These are the days. This is what we're doing. And I'm like, and I kind of thought the same way with you. Like, I don't have all those products. I don't have all that tech. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to build a consistent schedule that makes sense to me. I don't want to overwork myself, but I wanted to ease myself into it. So what I ended up coming up with is that I was just going to do a video a week, just one video a week. I'm doing a live stream a week, but I mean, I'm doing a lot more outside of that, but just for my main channel, that's what I decided. Mm-hmm. But for someone like you that's just getting started, who says, I don't have a lot of content. Sometimes we have a lot of content, we just don't realize it. So for instance, if you're making a video on an app, right? Like TV Zion, let's say, it has 1 million settings. That could be 3 or 4 videos, right? But you could sit down and record it all in one shoot, right? A lot of people who are brand new to these devices and to these apps don't have an attention span longer than 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah. So that's kind of the idea, that you kind of have to come out when you're making these videos and you're editing them and you're releasing them. You want to give them bite-sized pieces that they can digest. Because sometimes when I give my family members and friends devices, I could sit there, give it to them, give them a whole hour-long tutorial, and then I leave, and half an hour later, they're like, how do I do this? So we all go through it, right? And we're like, yeah, we told you like half an hour ago. You don't remember? But to us, we've been doing this for a while. I mean, it makes sense to us because we learned it over a period of time. And that's what we have to realize, right? We have to give people little bite-sized pieces of information. So now I'll do a very basic thing. I'm like, you're going to use this and you're going to use that, and this is what you do. And then I'll send them a link to a video. And then if they have another question, I'll send them a link to my blog. You know what I mean? I give them bite-sized pieces because I don't want to overwhelm anybody.
Yeah. So what the schedule is great to have. And that's probably one of the first things I would recommend anybody is setting up a schedule to what's comfortable to you. And the best thing is don't worry about anybody's time slots. Don't worry about who's going live at one time or who's posting at one time or whatever. It's good to know when some people are posting at what time. So that way, if you don't like, for example, I like to post for my Rojas reviews at 6 p.m. Eastern time. For my streaming box now, it's 4:15 Eastern time. And then for my World of Rojas, my travel, if I post something, when I post something, because I obviously we can't really do much traveling right now, I will do 7 Eastern time. So it's 4:15, 6, and 7. And then I know Next Level has his times. He likes to do oddball times too, like somewhere in the 15s, 30s, 45s. So what I would do is I would pay attention to what other people are doing. And that way you don't have to worry about, because the biggest thing on YouTube is it's always going to be a competition. And even though you don't want to compete, you're competing against the algorithm. So if you post a video saying this is the best Fire Stick settings, and then I do a video of this is the best Fire Stick settings, you can potentially get onto my algorithm, and it will be a recommended video because let's just say with the amount of subscribers that you have, since it's so small compared to mine, how I have like a good amount, your video could come up as a recommended, and then you can catch that algorithm. Yeah. YouTube sometimes doesn't like that when people copy each other's titles, thumbnails, tags, when they copy everything where it's like too much of the same. And then what they'll do is they won't recommend certain things because now they'll see that as possibly spamming. YouTube just has these weird, quirky rules and regulations that make no sense sometimes, and sometimes it does. But the best thing, the best thing I could tell anybody is just be as unique as possible. Look at what's working. If you're gonna do a Fire Stick and you're like, hey, Next Level did a video that had a lot of views, Rojas did a video that did a lot of views. I saw Electrical MD with a lot of views on this, Doc Squiffy with a lot of this. What I would do is I would grab all of that information and create your own title. Sometimes you might have to mix match some words a little bit so that way it's similar, but it's different. That way you can catch the algorithm in your own unique way. And if it's very unique, and I mean very unique, if I do a video that says the best Fire Stick settings for 2021, Next Level does a video that says the ultra new Fire Stick settings, I don't know. And let's just say, Grunt, you come out and you're just like, supercharge your Fire Sticks with the ultimate settings. Your video, and you never know, because this is exactly how the algorithm works. We just don't know. Your video could possibly catch both of our algorithms, and next thing you know, it'll be recommended. And you like that one video, I'm over here, I could get like 5,000-10,000 views. Next Level will get like 5,000-10,000 views, and then all of a sudden you get 1 million views.
Yeah,
it happens. It happens, and it doesn't matter the size of your YouTube channel. You could hit it, and it's weird. It's you could hit it right at the right time when a lot of people are searching for something or looking for something, and boom, next thing you know, there it is. So that's what I would recommend. Just find a good time slot. And then that way, as people are subscribing to you, they'll say, hey, I know Gruntstreams goes and drops a video every Monday or Saturday or whatever day at this time, and then now you have that consistency. YouTube likes that, and your subscribers like that. So now they know, like, hey, and they'll tell you this too. They will definitely tell you this. If you miss your video, they'll message you saying, hey, Grunt, what happened? You didn't post anything. What's going on? Like, you owe them, Yeah. It happens. Trust me, it happens.
And I think it's the same for Ross as it was for myself. But when we first started our channels, our videos would get more views. So I think there's something in there for being a new channel. If you catch an algorithm, you'll probably get a lot more views than some of the other bigger channels that make the same kind of video. So, I mean, jump on that.
For sure. And then it'll help you out with setting a schedule up with the family, and they'll know when you're working. And that way you don't drive yourself crazy. It's the biggest thing. Now, I know we talked about this at the last live show. We started to touch about, and you know what? I haven't played with editing apps on my phone yet. I'm gonna do it. I know what is it today? Tuesday? Oh man. I'm gonna do it soon. I know we don't have that many days for me to play with something, but I've been trying to record on my camera. My camera is acting weird and doesn't want to download the stuff. And I was gonna grab something quick and then just goof around and see how it works on the app. I'm gonna do it. I promise I'm gonna do it. What are you currently using, and why are you currently using that for editing your videos?
I'm still currently using the Power Director on my phone. Honestly, like, since I'm trying to get more content out, a little bit faster, since I'm just starting, I'm just trying to use something that I'm comfortable with and that I know how to use. I'm not saying like I'm proficient at it, but I'm somewhat, okay, and know how to work it. So I still want to look into, the other apps that you recommended for the PC, but it's just it looked a little bit more complicated since I'm trying to get some stuff out and content going. I've stuck to that so far on my phone. The Power Director does have a lot of intro videos and stock videos, stock music. I did use your recommendation on the YouTube Studio, the audio. I went through a lot of them, downloaded a lot of those songs, and I've used them in a couple of the videos I think the last 2 videos that I posted.
Right.
So I heard one of your songs that you used for your intros was pretty good. I was like, hey, I'm going to steal it now.
Hey, it's copyright free. It's not stealing.
Yeah.
It's free. If anybody tells you that, don't steal my stuff, it's like, come on.
Yes. But there's a lot of good songs on there. I was actually surprised. It's good stuff.
There is.
So,
I need to go there and look again.
When your family and friends first started messaging you, what gave you the idea to say, hey, I'll send you a video showing you how to do this?
Well, I guess just I didn't really want to explain it over. I mean, I could like copy and paste. I do a lot of pinned messages that I'll just like send to a bunch of people at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess a lot of people are more visual. They want to see how to do it over you trying to explain in text how to do it. So I mean, and I'm kind of the same way. Like I'd rather see something in a video than trying to read step by step how to do it. Like, so I kind of try and do it to where I kind of go slow and I explain, all right, this is what you're going to do. This is the button you're going to press, you know, and then this is the setting you're going to turn on, turn off. And this is how you uninstall this. You know, I try and go step by step so they can kind of follow along, you know, while they're doing it. And it just makes it a little bit easier for them.
And how were you sharing the videos with your family and friends? Like what platform were you sharing it with?
Facebook Messenger. I have WhatsApp, and so it lets you send larger files.
Right.
Some people don't have a Facebook, like some of the older generation don't have Facebook.
Right.
So some of their family members, they'll have me message their family members on Facebook, or if you know, they'll send it for me. Like, oh yeah, my mom has, you know, the service also, but I'll send her the video, or I'll go to her house and do the same thing to her Fire Stick or whatever. So
right.
But yeah. I've tried to get as many people on my Facebook group as possible. That way, I don't have to send as many videos to a bunch of people. The only time I remind them was like, "Hey, your payment's due" or something. So it's like, yeah, it's not as bad as it was before. It's calmed down a little bit.
You know, I think I got so busy to a point where I had to say some people you can help and some people you can't. Have you gotten to that point yet?
There was one guy that was just constantly on me about, I was like, you're the only one that's complaining, dude. So it's user error. Like I've given you all the steps you need to do, troubleshooting tips. Like it's just user error. Or I think he was from Mexico. So I was like, maybe it's the Wi-Fi over there. Like I can't go over there and do anything about it. Like it's working fine over here. I have no issues. No one's complained. I was like, and so, but he was always like, hey, you need to fix this. You need to do that. And I was like, you know what, dude, after your month is done, like I'm done.
Yeah. So
I was just like, some people just, they don't understand, you know, like you try and help them as much as you can, but they're still like constantly like bashing you for something.
Yeah. It's crazy because the level of customer service that we tend to give in this community far exceeds the customer service that you would get from the mainstream area.
Oh yeah.
But it does not match what each position is paid, let's say.
Yeah.
You can sit there and spend a whole day troubleshooting somebody and not make a penny. Zero. You'll be helping them with free apps. You'll be helping them with this and that. And for some reason, it's very seldom you'll get someone that actually understands that concept.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have, I guess, like a troubleshooting guide? Like, do you have steps? Like when you get people like that are like, dude, this isn't working, it's your fault. Do you have steps that you walk people through it?
I mean, I don't have like an actual, I need to make a video, but I usually tell them the first thing you do is unplug your device. Mm-hmm. That's like the main thing I've always told, like, or restart your device. Because the other day my mom's like, hey, I can't send any text messages. My network's not working. I told her, restart your phone. She restarted her phone. All right, Mr. IT guy, it worked. So I was like, that's the first thing I tell them. I was like, if your Wi-Fi, you're having an issue with your Wi-Fi, unplug your modem, unplug your router for at least 30 seconds to a minute. Plug in your modem first, and then your router. And then, you know, see if that works. If your Fire Stick's having issues, unplug it. Not just from the TV, because you're not really unplugging the power. Unplug the power source, you know, and then, you know, plug it at least for 30 seconds, plug it back in. And most of the time that fixes their issue, or just restarting the device or their router, their modem. And because sometimes they haven't unplugged their modem or router in months. They just let it run and run and run. And of course it builds up all that cache that you can, you know, so troubleshooting those are the main steps I give them. If not, like, I just tell them, hey, uninstall it and reinstall it. Uninstall that app, reinstall it. This is how you do it.
That's probably,
it just needs to be updated, and they don't know how to update it.
The unplugging the power and restarting That's probably the number one piece of advice that we tell everybody. I'm like, before you even email me or call me or anything, like just first unplug the power of your Android device or Fire Stick, whatever you got. That's like the first thing. And plug it back in, see if it works. If it doesn't, then do your modem and router. Like, do everything in your power that you can do before you email me. Because the first question I'm going to ask, did you unplug this and this and this and this and this? You know, because if you tell me, yes, I already did all that, or I get some, I have a few people, they'll tell me, dude, Rojas, I'm having buffering issues. I already unplugged my Fire Stick. I already unplugged the modem, the router. It's your problem. Why isn't this working? Okay. Yeah. So so then we go to phase 2. Then normally I say, okay, cool. Now that we got that figured out, how much memory do you have on your device? It's the next thing I ask. And I would say it's like a 50-50. 50-50, they'll come back and say, oh, I have like 0.4 gigs of memory left. And I'm like, what do you have installed in your device? You know, then we start going through the rabbit hole. Like, you know, we start going through all this stuff. If I've exhausted all the free routes, like literally all the free routes, you know, restarting this, factory reset that, uninstall, reinstall, whatever. Once we go through all the free routes, then I'm just like, okay, have you done a speed test? And have you tried a VPN? I have people that I know in Mexico that also have issues because Mexico has a monopoly when it comes to internet and cell phones. Mm-hmm. They will throttle you for no reason. You know, nobody, like it could be just you and nobody else in your neighborhood is using it, but they'll be like, hey, guess what? We're going to turn you off just because they feel like it. My stepdad lives in the capital, DF, and he tells me, he's just like, dude, he's like, if we want to get a cell phone, sure, there's like all these different companies, but it's owned by one. So if they want to hike up the prices, everything goes up. Same thing with the internet plans and everything. He's like, he's like, it's so screwed up. So, you know, I tell him like, well, here, try this VPN, remote in over here to the States and to somewhere else. And he's told me like, dude, he's like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm paying 10 megabytes and now I'm getting 80 megabytes of download speeds. I was like, sweet, keep it, you know, keep it. Don't mess with it. It's customer service goes a long way, and sometimes you just can't help some people at all. But this has been really good. Next level, do you have any other questions?
What do you think is the next step? So you've knocked down, you're working on a schedule. What's the next thing that you think you're going to start to work on? Do you see yourself being a consistent creator? Is this something that you really want to do, that you want to actually make videos and put it out consistently for the community, for your family, for your friends? Where do you see yourself going from here?
Yeah, I mean, once I figure out the schedule, I do want to, keep creating content. And I mean, I just did a review on some tech, so I do want to review, do tech reviews as well, and then of course different APKs. So those are the next steps. I do have one that was that I've been working on. It's of course how to uninstall applications that you're not using on your Fire Stick to make room. Mm-hmm. What was it that set application background processes? It's on the Amazon App Store. You can install that. It tells you which apps are running in the background because it takes up a lot of your RAM. Because a lot of these third-party APKs, you exit out and it's not technically closed all the way. So it's still technically running in the background. And then, of course, you got people with buffering issues like, hey, well, So that's why I want to put out some more content as well on how to clear out room on your Fire Stick as well, and how to give yourself more storage and more memory.
Right.
So I still want to do like, a lot of tutorial videos, a lot of, on different devices, tech reviews, and just different APKs that I use, that work. So that's kind of like the next step. But I'm hoping, I still want to improve my PC though. I still got to do a couple upgrades, and of course an upgrade on, I do want to get a green screen. That's something that's coming soon as well, because I don't know, I just want a different background.
Yeah. Now, have you worked on a intro yet? Like, is there something that you always say? Like, I know for me, when I start my videos, I always say, "Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about XYZ." Do you have an intro yet that you're working on, or are you still haven't found it yet?
I haven't found it yet. I've just been saying, whatever, like, hey, hope everyone's having a great day, stuff like that. But, my wife has mentioned, like, hey, you need to figure something out, like what you're going to say, or like have one specific intro that you're going to use for each video. Like, because right now I just have my logo and I put like some music, but, it's like try and put something like subscribe or, thanks for watching. And I was like, yeah, I know. And I'm still trying to figure everything out. I'm just starting. Like, I'm not like super tech savvy, I guess, like on editing wise, like
what I've seen you put out from Power Director on your phone is pretty good, to be honest with you. I've used Power Director for a long time, and your intro that you made with the music and your logo bouncing around, I was like, hey, how did you do that? That's actually pretty cool. And you're just going to keep learning. You're going to keep evolving, and it's going to get better and better. You're going to try things that you're going to think is really cool today, and so tomorrow you're going to make it even better. So that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I'm slowly learning. I'll get there. But I still got to get all these other PC applications, and I need to watch more tutorial videos on how to work things. Just like I said, I've never really been into like the whole editing and like what is it called, like the saturation and the grain and all that different stuff that I'm slowly messing around with it here and there, and so I don't look super white on my videos, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, like I said, Photoshop was always something I wanted to learn how to use, but it just seemed like it was very complicated. I would always start watching like a video on how to work it, and I'm like, man, that's too complicated. So I would just stop watching it, and it just kind of like, all right, it's too hard for me. But I'm pretty sure it's more simple than I think. But it's like at the time, it just seemed too much for me.
So when I started so this is the one piece of advice I could give you on your intros. Don't force it. It's just going to happen. Literally. I've had several people tell me, so your manager, your wife, she's right. You're going to have to figure it out. And the best thing to do, honestly, is I had this conversation with my mom, and I was telling her, I was like, I'm like, if you're going to be talking, because so I'm working with her to set up her channel. She's going to be doing a cooking channel, and I was telling my mom, get your camera, get in front of it, and just start practicing. Like, just talk to it. You have to get comfortable talking, and it's literally you're talking to nobody. When we turn on the camera, all it is just a little piece of tech, and that's it. There's nobody in the room. There's nobody there. It's just you. So I told my mom, if I'm over here and I'm going to review this battery right here, you have to be able to have a problem and a solution. So if you're just like, do you have a battery that always dies and you buy these third-party batteries that have no power whatsoever? You know what? I have a really good solution. These are rechargeable batteries. It has 2,300 mAh and it will last you about 6 hours. And you could go continuous on the go with these things. You buy a set. Here's an Amazon link. You know what I mean? You start building that I don't know if you want to call it a salesman, because that's pretty much what you're doing. Even like with my mom for cooking, you know, it's not like she's selling recipes or she's selling meals or anything, but I'm like, you got to sell yourself. You got to get people where they're buying in. It's just like, oh, I could do scrambled eggs this type of way. I'm used to doing it that way. I get it. You know what I mean? So it's a good way to practice is by yourself when you're all alone, and it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel very weird. When I first started, I would be like, hey, this is Cody Tutorials, and today we're going to be talking about Cody. It was very like you could tell I had no clue what I was doing. I still have no clue what I'm doing. Now, follow-up question: do you have an outro or not yet? Like, do you know what to say when you're ending the show?
Not really. I just kind of like say, thanks for watching or whatever. Thanks for sticking around. I mean, it's not really something. I just kind of like, all right, I'm trying to end the video, so let's say something that you can end it with. I don't really have like a set,
Yeah. So
phrase.
we kind of have our own. I think we just kind of. I don't know if we. It's kind of weird. I have my own outro, my own goodbyes, and then Next Level has his own goodbyes, and we kind of combined it, and
it works.
It works,